to bring up Julie Lassa. Give her a warm Stevens Point welcome.
What democracy looks like. And I have to say thank you for giving the 14 Democratic senators the strength and support to make sure that the people of Wisconsin, that your voices were heard. And we need to continue to keep up that pressure on Governor Scott Walker and the Republicans in the legislature.
Yeah.
This fight is not over. You know, when we left 3 weeks ago, we wanted to make sure that the people of the state of Wisconsin had an opportunity to learn about what was in the governor's budget repair bill, and that people had the opportunity to give their feedback, whether in support or in opposition. And the fact is that the Republicans knew what was in that bill, and that is why they tried to ram it through in just 4 days.
Whoa.
That is not right, and it is a shame.
Yeah.
But we were able to stop them, to allow people the time to look at that bill and say, oh my God, what is he doing to Wisconsin? Because he takes away workers' rights. He takes away their voice in the workplace. He takes away from the legislature the ability to have a say about what happens in the Medicaid program, which is Badger Care, Senior Care, Family Care, and puts thousands of people all across this state at risk, including the 59,000 people in central Wisconsin who rely on those programs, either to get their prescription drugs or to be able to afford health insurance for their families. It is wrong, and it is a shame. And the thing is that he also put a little provision in there that impacts UWSP, besides all of its wonderful employees. And that is selling off the power plant on campus without a competitive bid. That is wrong. That is wrong.
Wrong.
Because it cheats taxpayers. And especially when he talks about the budget repair bill is all about protecting taxpayers from those mean and greedy public employees.
Lies, lies, lies!
That is a lie. You're absolutely right. And we found that out. I mean, that first Friday when we were gone, public employees said, we will pay what you want us to pay for our health insurance. We will pay what you want us to pay for our pensions. And what did he do? He walked away. He said no. So you know that this whole budget repair bill was all about taking away workers' rights, taking away workers' voices. That is wrong, and it is a shame. It is against the Wisconsin way. Where would we be if Mercury Marine and Harley Davidson did the same thing? They sat down when they had a problem. They sat down with their employees, their unions, and said, we need to find a solution. And they found a solution. If they did it Governor Walker's way, they would have took thousands of jobs out of the state of Wisconsin. and that would have been wrong. But instead, he tried to blame it on the public employees. But the fact is that we found out what his true motives were in that call with the fake David Koch.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
You know, one of my favorite signs in Madison was Governor Walker, your Coke dealer is online too. Representative Malevsky was absolutely right. He wouldn't take any of your calls. He wouldn't take any of our calls, even when we wanted to negotiate with him. But he would take his billionaire supporters call. And he talked about 3 things in that call that were absolutely horrible. The first is that he thought about planting agitators within a peaceful crowd.
Boo!
And he didn't do it. Not because he thought it was wrong. It's because he thought it would put pressure on him to negotiate and to compromise. It didn't have anything to do about the concern for safety for the Wisconsin people. Second, he talked about using public employees as pawns in his political game. He said, I am willing to lay off 5,000 to 6,000 state employees, and maybe we'll add a few more just to put more political pressure on those Senate Democrats. Well, Governor Walker, these are people. They are citizens who work hard to make this state better. And the fact that you would use them as pawns in this political game is shameful.
Shame! 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 Shame!
That's right.
Shame!
It is a shame. And the fact is that he was willing to trick us, to come back to the state. How do you negotiate in good faith with someone who is willing to trick you into coming to the bargaining table just so that the Senate Republicans could run to the chambers and vote their bill through? That's not democracy. That's not democracy. It's anything but. That's right. That's a Karl Rove tactic. The fact is that tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of people from all across this state have made their voices heard. And it is unfortunate, and it is a shame that Senate Republicans and Assembly Republicans, for the most part, turned a deaf ear to their constituents. They were more afraid of Governor Walker and were more interested in doing his bidding than they were in listening to their own constituents.
That's right.
Recall is right.
Recall! 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 Recall!
They were more interested in being rubber stamps for a radical agenda that Louis talked about already. And he's only been in office for a little more than 2 months. And Governor Walker has already done so much damage to our state with the help of his Senate and Assembly Republican colleagues. That is wrong. We don't need rubber stamps in Madison. We need people who are going to stand up and do what is right. So that is why these recalls are so important. You know, there's a recall going on against me here in my district.
Good luck with that.
It's run by folks out of Utah
And there's thousands of them here today.
who probably don't even know where the 24th district is.
There's thousands of them right over there.
But you guys do. And you've got my back. But the Republicans, now we're talking about a different story. That's a grassroots organization coming up from their districts. And they are afraid, and they should be.
darling.
Because when we have those recalls, the petitions are out there right now, folks from those districts are going through their neighborhoods. With Senator Alberta Darling, the first weekend, they collected 25% of the signatures they needed. Senator Kapanke's district, it's now just about the same. You know, so I think that they should have had more fear and respect for the people that they serve and should have listened to them. And not Governor Walker and his radical plans for the state of Wisconsin. Governor Walker wants to run for higher office. He wants to be vice president. The fact is that we know that we have the people power that has exposed him for what he truly is, and that is someone who is willing to ruin the state of Wisconsin for his own political ambitions. And we need to get back on the right track. We need to get back on the right track in the state of Wisconsin. And that is why you're all here. There are rallies all across the state. It's because people know where he wants to take us. It's the wrong way. And we are going to do what's right. We cannot allow him to continue to harm the workers and the working class families of the state of Wisconsin, because the next fight is going to be about his budget, where he wants to cut nearly $1 billion out of our public schools.
Shame.
Shame is right. Shame, because then he takes that money and he gets rid of the capital gains taxes for the wealthy in this state. He cuts $87 million out of the Earned Income Tax Credit, which helps poor working families. Gives more money to corporations and tax credits. There needs to be a balance. There needs to be priorities in this state. We need to make sure that those are the right priorities. And that is what we're going to be doing. We are going to be working on the recalls and at the ballot box. We are going to be working in the courts to stop this bad law. And we are going to be voting for Joanne Kloppenberg. Because Justice David Prosser was quoted in the Capital Times saying that he wants to be a partner with the Republican legislature. I thought the Supreme Court was an independent branch of government that's supposed to be impartial.
Yes, supposed to.
So let's get out and work. You guys have started a movement, and it is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And we need to keep it going. And your energy, your strength is going to do that, because we know that what we are concerned about is the future of the state of Wisconsin for our children and future generations. And we have to protect our democracy in this state. And that is where all of you come in. So I'm more than happy to be here standing shoulder to shoulder, ready to carry on that fight. We're going to do it!
Thank you.